All right, everybody. How are you doing? This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast, also known as S. Anthony Says, episode number 481. How are you doing, my friends? We're back, and new people, thank you for listening. I saw you coming. I saw you, and thank you for coming. Folks, it's really weird. There are times when I'll put a script together for this podcast, and I plan on talking about something, and then some other stuff will come up, and all of a sudden that script gets put on the top of the file cabinet, and it gets completely ignored, and another script is written, or in many cases, I'll just talk to you about what happened at the time. This is kind of a combination of those things. I mean, I was watching a video of a vacation somebody took on a cruise ship. And everything looked great. You know, it looked really pristine and everything was clean and great and everyone's having a great time and everyone's smiling. And as someone who's been on a cruise ship, I know what it's actually like. If you've ever been into a casino, it's just like that. It's like a casino on the water. And if you've ever been to a casino, you know that there are people sometimes that act like idiots and ruin it for everybody. And that happens on the cruise ship as well. It just does. Now, I've been on cruise ships and I've been on vacations with girlfriends, and I know for a fact that something you have to keep in mind is do not, under any circumstances, if you are a couple, go on a vacation, to a cruise or a long trip. If you're fighting, you should be able to go, you know what, we're having an argument right now. Let's just enjoy the cruise. Let's just enjoy the drive. Let's just enjoy this kind of trip, and we'll resume our difficulties when we go back. But it's hard to just compartmentalize that, isn't it? You've had a fight before you went to a party with people and you had to sit there looking at each other, acting like you're lovey-dovey like you normally are, when right now you can't stand the sight of each other because you're mad right now, and your friends don't really notice it unless they're a long-term married couple and they looking at you and they go, what's wrong with you? And you're going, we don't want to talk about it. And they won't stop pushing it and they won't stop pressing. And all of a sudden you describe what happened and everybody takes sides. And now all of a sudden, instead of 6 people having a great time, you got 6 people fighting. Oh no. But the smart thing is, do not, under any circumstances, go on vacation, go on a trip when you and your significant other are fighting. Why? Because when you're at home and you get on each other's nerves, you have some place to go. Right? Somebody goes upstairs and stays in the bedroom and stays away from the other person. Somebody goes out into the garden. Maybe one of you goes out to run. Maybe one of you goes to a friend's house. Maybe you just are in different sides of the room. One's on the computer. One's reading the newspaper. And every once in a while you look at each other like, you stink. You stink too. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in the car taking a 6-hour drive, which under normal circumstances would be fun. You both take turns driving the car. You listen to songs on the radio. You're laughing and joking. You're making innuendos to each other about what you're going to do to each other's body parts when you get to the hotel room, and all of that kind of crap. And you'll say things like, I don't know about you, honey, but when we get there, we might not leave the room, right? We might not, because you're in a good mood. But what if you're fighting? What if you're in a bad mood? What if you can't stand the sight of each other because of something stupid that you'll think is stupid later on, but right now it's important? You can't hide from each other in the car. I mean, what are you going to do? Is one of you going to jump into the trunk of the car to hide from somebody else? Is that what you're going to do now? Huh? I'm mad at you. I'm out of here. Where are you going? What are you doing in the back seat? What are you pulling the back seats down for? What are you doing in the trunk? I don't want to look at you. And you hope she doesn't find something in the trunk that makes her even madder to begin with. Whose socks are these? Even though they're her socks, she doesn't remember they're her socks. So now all of a sudden she's accusing you of cheating. I ain't cheating. You're unreasonable. You're crazy. And you were dumb enough to call your woman, your wife, the love of your life crazy, because women love it when you say that they're crazy, don't they? That always goes well, doesn't it? Well, I know a couple that went on their honeymoon And they went on their honeymoon mad. They had a fight in the car as they were driving away. And they had 2 weeks. And they were on their honeymoon. Ooh. When you're mad, you don't want to be alone with that person. Now you're out there in Hawaii trying to act like you don't hate each other's guts, right? All these other couples, you guys look happy. And you're just going, would be happy if I was here with somebody else. You say it under your breath, and he says it and she says it, and all of a sudden you're fighting about that and the thing you were fighting about. You got to be careful. I remember going on a cruise, and I got into a fight with the girlfriend that I was with at the time. Now, as it turns out, it was near the end of the cruise, so I really didn't give a crap. I got to enjoy the whole vacation. Wasn't a problem. No big deal, right? She was mad at me in the car when we went to get the car, but I couldn't give a crap about that because who cares? A new Prince album just came out, and I wasn't listening to her anyway. Right? But I know it's very, very difficult to be around someone when you're mad, when you're angry. You don't want to be there. Oh, no. Sometimes an attitude or something outside of yourself will absolutely ruin the trip. You have to be able to figure out a way to make sure that you can compartmentalize. You have to make sure that you can find a way not to argue about dumb stuff, because when you argue about dumb stuff, it becomes habit, and it becomes really easy to argue about dumb stuff. I got into a fight with a girlfriend one time because my watch was too loose on my wrist for her. Why do you wear your watch like that? You're so stupid. What? She's mad at me because of the way I wear my watch? That's dumb. You never see me be irrationally angry about, so why do you hang your coat that way when all the other coats are facing the other way? What difference does it make? It's in the closet. You make me sick. You need to even know how to hang up a coat. Well, you don't know how to wear a watch. Right? And we wound up not getting it on for 3 days because of the way I wore my watch and the way she hung up her coat. So I wore my watch even looser. Oh yeah, my watch daggone there went down to my elbow every time I raised my arm. And then she went into the bathroom and hung all of her clothes in the opposite way. And I was annoyed every time I walked into the closet. Oh, I couldn't stand it, right? And then I went to the bathroom and I realized she took the toilet paper and flipped it the other way. And you make me, ooh. Went out and replaced the daggone toothpaste that we both agreed upon, that we both liked, changed it to some crap that neither one of us liked. She acted like she liked it just because she wanted to prove a point, and then I had to use that nasty crap until I could get to the store to get some more crap. Then I got some of the toothpaste that I liked, and I was like, that's okay, you can use that crap, I'll use my crap. I went out to do some stuff, I came back, and she accidentally threw out the toothpaste that I liked. Because that's what you do to each other when you let anger and stupid fights get in the way. I don't like to be angry. I don't like to argue. Most people don't. I was watching something on TV and they said you have a higher opportunity, a higher chance of having some kind of a heart attack or some crap like that happen to you when you are angry. And that may be true and it may not be true, because a lot of times you see these reports on the news, they'll say some kind of health crap and everybody buys into it. And then 6 weeks later they go, you remember that crap we said last week? We were wrong about that. But who wants to fight all the time? I don't like to fight. I like that. Don't you like to have light moments with people? Don't you like to have moments where you can smile and enjoy somebody's company? You don't have to deal with all of that kind of crap. I know I do. But sometimes it's not even a fight. Sometimes it's circumstance that messes everything up for you, right? I know a couple, another honeymoon couple, but this was the absolute worst. I mean, sometimes things happen to you that you have absolutely no control over, and it just ruins everything for you. It's not even the fight, it's circumstance, because circumstances and bad choices can mess up your day. We just talked about bad choices and being angry when you shouldn't be angry and fighting about dumb crap, how that can mess up your day. But sometimes it's not even you. You go about your thing and you go about your day. You make good choices. You make all the right choices, and circumstances. I had a couple that went out, there was a couple I knew that went on their honeymoon a week in Hawaii. Oh yeah. And we're all going, well, and we all joking. We know what you guys are going to be doing. Huh? I'm saying, you ain't even going to touch the sand. Huh? You know what y'all going to be doing. Everybody was a running joke, right? What we didn't know was that they had to take this trip on this particular week because their schedules didn't allow them to go any other time, and they didn't want to jeopardize any kind of, they had some kind of thing at work. She had a sales project, or he had some kind of thing. So this is the time where they could get together. But guess what happened? The entire week in Hawaii, she was on her period. Oh no. Now, you know what you're supposed to be doing on your honeymoon, Jack. You know exactly what you want to do all day, all night on your honeymoon. But no, period city. It wasn't even her week to have a period. Her periods used to be like clockwork. She's thinking we're going to go to Hawaii. We're going to go to enjoy the beach and get it on all day long. And my period will start when I get back. And they get showed up a week early. Oh no. Well, in the grand scheme of things, I've had long-term girlfriends, and when they have their periods, so what? It's a natural function, not a big deal. I've had girlfriends that were going, well, I would come over and hang out with you, but I'm on my period. I'm going, the hell's that got to do with anything? It just means we won't get it on. I still want you around. You think if we got married, what do we have you do? Move out for 5 days? Let's get over it. We're going to hang out. Don't worry about it. Right? But that's because you live in regular life. But this is a honeymoon you planned, and you planned it methodically. You didn't expect her to have a period on. Oh no. She's going to be running around in the bikini looking all great and having a great time. You're going to be laughing and joking, and you can't because y'all don't want to do that when that's happening. Oh no. It can't get worse than that, can it? Yes, it can. You eat something in an airport, right? You're eating something in an airport. Normally you wouldn't eat something at the airport. You wouldn't go to this particular, whatever this crap is. I'll try that. I'll try a little bit of that. Yeah. And then you feel a little bit of a tingle in your stomach. Ooh, what's that? Ooh. You feel a little lightheaded, a little queasy. Ooh. You wake up the next day and you feel like garbage. You feel horrible. You can barely move. What's going on? She's over there in a fetal position holding a hot water bottle on your stomach, and all of a sudden you realize your stomach, oh no, a hot water bottle's not going to help you unless it's going to catch the fluids flying out of your backside because, oh, you got food poisoning, and you run into the bathroom and you splash. Oh man. You're on your honeymoon, right? You guys waited a long period of time to get married because you both had cold feet. Not because the other person wasn't spectacular, but because the person that was before this person was a disaster, was a heartbreaker, was a cheater, treated you like crap. Oh no, I love this person 10 times more than I love the person before. So if this person really messes up, or with this mess up, it's going to hurt 10 times worse than last time I went through this crap and damn near destroyed me. So you waited a long time. But you finally broke down. This person's worth it. This person's the best. Oh, yeah. But circumstance was really not happy with you. Bad fortune and misfortune was sitting there going, oh, they think they're going to have a great time on this honeymoon. Move her period up a week. I'll do it. Thank you, bad fortune. And make him eat something at the airport that he shouldn't eat that actually has some kind of bacteria on it that's going to make him sick. Yeah. Circumstance and bad fortune sometimes are even worse than the stupid fights, because imagine if they went on a honeymoon and they had a fight. If you ever had a fight with a significant other, you know that sometimes, even if the fight is vicious where you're saying things you don't mean, something will happen. It'll be something innocuous and stupid that'll flip the switch, and all of a sudden you're back to normal. I've been there where I had a girlfriend saying some bad stuff to me, and uncharacteristically, I said some bad stuff, not as bad as the stuff that she said. It was all wrong and inaccurate and designed to be mean and hurt my feelings, but I didn't care because I was sitting there going, what can I say to be as mean as her, right? And we said some mean stuff when we're looking at each other. We weren't even close to breaking up. It was not break up worthy. It was just being mad worthy. We were basically just deciding based on how mean we were, how long we were going to sit there staring at each other and how long it would be between the next time we took our pants off and did good stuff to each other's lap stuff. And you're sitting there looking at each other, right? You're on the phone talking to your friends, telling them how awful your significant other is. And with guys, we're visual, right? She'll take a shower. We didn't know she was taking a shower. She was going to take a shower anyway, right? And she walks out in that robe and her butt's jiggling and you're like, good Lord, I'm not mad anymore, right? Right? And it's the same thing. I've done that before. You take a shower, you walk outside, you got your boxer briefs on, and she looks down and she sees some stuff, and you know you got the stuff she likes, and she's like, I need that in me. Right? Or it could be just something, some kind of a non-genital or buttocks jiggling type thing that makes it flip the script. You know, you could do something. Maybe you did something nice for her and it just kind of pops up now, like the delivery shows up. It was some roses that you had her, you ordered for her, right? Or you cook some dinner for her and you give her and you kind of smile at her and she smiles at you and you forget that you're mad at each other. It doesn't always have to be genital or buttocks related stuff that flips the script. Sometimes it's just you watch a happy couple on TV and you realize an hour ago you were happy like this happy couple, and you realize we were arguing over dumb stuff. We shouldn't be fighting. And the next thing you know, you slob each other's down and you're going into the bedroom and boom, boom, jiggy, boom, da boom, jiggy, you tear each other up and everything's back to normal. But that's because of a fight. Back to my honeymoon couple, one with a period when she's sitting there with a hot water bottle on her stomach and the other guy is sitting on the toilet pushing everything out of his insides. One of his eyeballs comes out of his butt. That's how hard he's pushing. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but you get the point. Right? And their whole honeymoon that they spent all this time working on methodically is destroyed by circumstance. Well, circumstances will come up all the time. You'll be driving to work and there'll be an accident and you wind up missing out on some kind of sales call or some kind of opportunity because you left early, but it was beyond your control. There's nothing you could do about that. Circumstance is something that gets in the way, and you can't be blamed for that because you have no control over it. She didn't know her period was going to come on. He didn't know he was going to be eating something out of an airport that under normal circumstances wouldn't be a problem, and their whole honeymoon was ruined. He didn't know that was going to happen. They can't even get mad. They can be disappointed, but they're like, we got a lifetime together, right? And then you do be like a sitcom. You go buy some luau toys or some crap like that. You surprise her in the house with some fake sand on the floor or whatever it is, like a rug that looks like sand, and you have like, you mimic the Hawaii trip. She walks and she giggles and thinks you're romantic, or she does the same thing for you. And then y'all get it on all weekend like, to try to make up for the week that got ruined. Right? Because circumstances you can't control those. But you control whether you fight about dumb stuff, can't you? I didn't need to be upset because how she hung her coat or her shirts up in the closet. Because nowadays, if I was with the same woman, if I'm with whoever my next lady is going to be, if she hangs her coat up the opposite way, I might not even notice it. And if I notice it, I really don't care. Right? If she flips the toilet paper the other way, as long as it comes out and I can do what I need to do with that particular product, I don't care anymore. Right? And hopefully whoever the next lady is will be mature enough as I'm maturing now and mature now that she won't care about dumb crap that may be a mistake that I make, or she won't get upset because my watch is my watch is hanging loose on my wrist, or maybe she don't like the way I wear my hat, or why do you brush your teeth like that? It's dumb stuff that really doesn't matter. Because in many cases, a lot of the things we fight about are stupid. And we get so ego driven that we decide that we're not gonna just let it go. And that's what we should do a lot, right? Let it go. Circumstances you can't control, attitudes and actions and choices you can control. Right? Just like right now, you've chosen to come back to listen to episode 481 of this podcast. That was a good decision. Right? Right? Yes, we are right. Thank you, audience member who's not really here. And I'm glad you did that too. Okay? This has been episode number 481 of the S. Anthony Says podcast. Thank you very much for coming back, my friends. I appreciate you more than you know. I appreciate you more than you know. If you love this podcast, and you do me a favor and subscribe to this podcast, spread the word about this podcast, rate and review this podcast, and more importantly than anything else, come back next week and bring friends with you, because I'd appreciate it. Much love to you all, my friends, and I will see you again next week, okay? All right. S. Anthony, out.